How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Hammered Airsoft Smith, and I'd like to introduce what replaced the M&P 9 by WE. I'll be talking about this film here in a little bit. Now, I said that I wanted the pistol that was going to replace the M&P 9 to be something familiar, different, and utilitarian. This is all three. Yeah. It's another WE gun. Save it. Save it. But once you see what it is, you're not gonna give a fuck no more. Yeah, I think it's weird. I just want to point this out. It's weird that this WE box, like the pistol came in this WE box, because you know what? The WE box that the Samurai Edge came in is the same exact box. But I thought it was going to be a little bit unique in a sense, because I've never seen it before. Because there's a katana, a bird holding a katana. I thought, you know, Samurai Edge, samurais use katanas. I don't know. But it is a cool looking box. Not that the box really matters, but it's cool. It's not an eyesore. It doesn't look cheesy. It just looks good. Open it up. Oh, you can tell it's a 1911, which I said would be familiar. It's an A1 manual. I already have one of these. This is not an unboxing, it's just kind of an introduction like I usually have been doing. And here we go. What is this? Replica of the Kimber Desert Warrior M1911. Sweet. Now, I'm going to get this box and stuff like that out of here. Then I'm going to save and check the gun. You know how usually these boxes, this isn't important, but I just want to throw this out there. It's strange, I've never seen this before. I may have seen it. No, I've never seen it before. Never mind. I was about to lie. And that's how good of a liar I am. Right. Normally the guns come in either like some sort of, like, there's a cloth in the box, or there's like foam, like soft foam, like you do, like you get in a carry case, or it's styrofoam, which is a pain. It works, but it's a pain because when every time you take the gun out, there's like styrofoam comes with it. Look at this freaking thing. I actually prefer this because it's not styrofoam, so nothing comes with it when you take the gun out. But wait until you see the back of it. What in the sweet holy mother of fuck is this? When you recycle egg cartons, is this it? This is what this is the outcome? What the? I don't know, man. But I do, like I said, I do like it better than styrofoam. It's just really funny and strange to me. It's just like that egg carton I threw out like a week ago. Is that like, did it come back? Oh, let's get rid of this friggin' box. I don't give a shit. Let's see, check the gun. Looking sharp. Oh, it's so freaking smooth. Alright. Familiar. It's a 1911. by a brand that I trust. It's different. Different in color, different with the rail. Different in a few other aspects, but the rail is the biggest difference out of all three, well, three now, of my gas blowback 1911s. And utilitarian. Why did I pick this gun? Why did I pick it? Why did I pick it? I'm kidding, I know why I picked it. I picked it for a few reasons. I'm going to try to give you the short version. Okay, reason number one, you already know. I wanted something familiar, yet different, and utilitarian. That's number one reason. Number two, you know me, I'm a big fan and supporter of the military and law enforcement. The certain branches or whatnot of the Marines, the U.S. Marines, chose this, well, the real steel of the Desert Warrior over the M9. So it's pretty cool to use something very similar to what the Marines used, the real steel one, of course. Can't stress that enough. I'm not trying to say that the Marines use this. Well, law enforcement do use airsoft guns. Some of them, some law enforcement departments use airsoft guns for training because they're more realistic than paintball. But anyways, yes. So the Marines. Number three. Sorry. It reminds me of where I grew up. I used to grow up in like the Pine Barrens. My house was in the woods, and if you go further enough through the woods, there would be a large, like 5 by 5 mile, like opening. It was huge. That looks like desert terrain. So the color scheme, the desert, hence the name Desert Warrior, reminds me of that. And the final reason is because for a long time now, I've been eyeballing. I know you guys have been hearing this a lot lately, like, oh, for some time now I wanted this, some time now. Well, it's true. I've been eyeballing the Kimber 1911s, more the custom TLE 2. And then I remember watching what happened was, what introduced me into the world of the Kimber 1911s was in 2005, a film came out titled Hostage, starring Bruce Willis, and his personal firearm is a Kimber custom TLE 2, 1911. It's essentially, like, it looks a lot like this. There's some minor differences, like it's all black, it's got black double diamond checkered grips. The hammer is pretty much the same. The trigger was a stainless 3-hole skeleton trigger, and it didn't have a rail. It also had an extended guide rod, kind of like this one. And I was like, man, I really like that 1911. Really like it. And I couldn't find anywhere, but eventually over the years, like recently, I found there's 2 websites. There was eBike, and there was some other one that takes place in Hong Kong that has the Warrior, which is pretty much the black version of this. But the main difference between the Warrior and the Desert Warrior, other than the color scheme, is that the Warrior has the TLE style trigger, the 3-hole stainless trigger. And I was like, ooh, and both sites had them cheap. But the thing was, there were some slight differences. Like the Hong Kong website had one that looked identical, like 100% to the real steel. It had trades. It had black double diamond checkered grips. It had the 3-hole trigger. $85, but it was always out of stock. I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere, I couldn't find it, no matter what. So I just kind of was just like, well, I just kind of gave up in the sense. It takes a lot for me to just give up. I just faced reality and was just like, this thing is like apparently really popular and it's just not going to go back in stock. So I just stopped looking at the Hong Kongs. Like, I didn't get the one off of e-Vike because the one on e-Vike has the wrong trigger on it. It's a black short A1 trigger like this one here. And it has these grips, which the grips doesn't really matter too much because you can just change the grips very easily. So it really doesn't matter. I was gonna buy the gun. I was gonna get the WE variant off e-Vike of the Warrior, but it didn't have the 3-hole trigger like I just said. They had 3-hole triggers on the site, but they come in like a high cap of kit, and I want to pay out the extra $30 for a whole kit that I'm only going to use the trigger in, so I said forget that. And then I got into this situation with the M&P 9, and I saw that a door opened, and I was like, well, I'm not going to get the Warrior because I already said why, and the Desert Warrior restocked. And not only did it restock, but it was on sale. So I got it. The trigger, the hammer was all black, but the real steel one is not. And that was the one thing that really looked different to me, that really caught my eye, was like in a negative way. I was like, something looks odd about this Desert Warrior. I was like, everything looks pretty spot on for the most part. I mean, there's some slight differences, but it's nothing to really moan about. I was like, the hammer is black. I mean, that's not a big deal because obviously I took the gun apart, got the hammer out, and did my little file and sandpaper work to give it that brushed steel look with the graining. Did it on both sides. The front of the hammer is supposed to be black. The top is supposed to be black. And if I take the safety off, the rear is supposed to be black. So now it's as per the real steel. Looks the part. Hold on, obnoxious big ass fucking tractor truck thing or whatever the hell that thing is. I just went by. I never seen that thing in my life. It looked like a space shuttle with like a crane, 10 wheels. Yeah, that thing was fucking weird. Anyways, I'm always getting rudely interrupted. It's like I hear one of my cats just bitching and moaning in the background. It's like, dude, give me some peace and quiet. Daddy's working. Anyways, so now where was I? Yeah. So that was an easy thing. I didn't really care about that. There's, like I said, there's some minor differences, but I'll get into that with the review. I don't want to drag this video out too long. I actually want to make this one shorter than what they've been lately. When you, this is kind of amusing. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of I like e-Vike a lot, and they're a big help, and they're great and everything. But I definitely gotta call them out on something that's kind of funny. When you look at the pictures on their website of this gun, I'll put a link in the description of the gun, of course, so you people know where to get it, or, you know, if you want it. And I'll also probably put a link of the real steel gun. But anyways, or I might do that for the review. I don't know. You can always Google it. Whatever. Anyway, to the point. When you look at the one picture, you see this pretty much. It's like, ooh, it comes with 3 white dot sights, tactical white dot sights. That's all you see. They don't show the foresight. When they do, they show it in this aspect, or this view. I get it, and the first thing I noticed when I picked the gun up, there's no white dot on that foresight. It's awkward to do. It's like a mirror. Okay, there we go. There's no white dot. I was like, are you kidding me, man? Like, it's like WE and e-Vike worked as like Bonnie and Clyde. And we're just like, we're gonna con these motherfuckers. But you know what? I'm not even that upset because after firing the gun, I fired about like 30 rounds through it. Not a big deal. But it actually, in a sense, it works better. I mean, yeah, it is harder to see that foresight now, but the contrast between the tan and the black, and then when you look at the sight picture, you see 2 white dots, and you know the black post in the front is obviously like you got your sights lined up. So in a way, that's kind of a better sight picture, so it doesn't just look like 3 white dots. So if you're, you know, if you have to choose a target quick, you're not going to be too confused, because if you have your gun slightly off, it's not going to look like 3 dots no matter what. Instead, it could either look like black post, 2 white dots. Well, obviously the gun is cocked a little bit, so turn it and boom, you got your front black plain post right dead center of those white dots. So that's pretty awesome. And I gotta say, this is the smoothest action I've ever felt in my whole entire life as far as airsoft guns go. WE really upped their game on their 91011s anyways. I can't vouch about the M9s. The first WE M9 I ever owned is the M9 2X Samurai Edge. But I've had plenty of experience with 1911s, and they definitely upped their game. Anyways, oh, and the MP9. Bye. Anyways, the magazine here is slightly different. It's your standard WE single stack magazine, but it's got like a little bump on the bottom, which it should. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a nice little addition. It really does look like the real steel, although the real steel one has a slightly bigger one, but I don't really care. You can use any magazine that is compatible with this gun. It doesn't matter. Like, what do you think when I use this gun? I'm only going to use this one magazine in it? Yeah, okay, buddy. But, anyways, so, there's that. I'll get into greater depth when the time comes. Thanks everybody for watching, spending 17 minutes of your time watching this. And just pretty much me blabbering about why I got it. But there you have it. See you ladies and gents later. And take care of yourselves and each other.